when I took my first official L with predictions with Josh Taylor versus Teofimo Lopez, I think there were some fair excuses that I made on my part. But with this one, no excuses, only reasons. This fight is the first out of those that I predicted on this channel, so at least in one major way. For one, it's the first time I made a prediction, and as I was getting ready to watch the fight, looking at the walkouts, my instinct, my gut feeling, my real radar that I rely on, it kicked in, and I had that feeling. I was like, uh-oh, I feel like I'm going to be wrong. So much so that I almost made a community post right during the walkouts where I was like, I feel like I'm going to be wrong. I didn't make it, but I was like, ooh, I felt this coming. And I was like, damn, my analysis is going to fall. With none of my other predictions have I ever felt that. Not with, Uwe, not with Crawford versus Spence, which I thought was going to be a pretty competitive fight, but I had Crawford winning. Not with AJ versus Ngannou, not with anything. Canelo, not with anything. But there are some important reasons why I was so wrong. Although I wasn't horribly wrong with like the ideas of the fight and what could happen and what would happen, I was wrong about the outcome. That's why I was so wrong. I think the number one and by far the most important thing I was wrong with, at least in my eyes, is underlooking and underestimating attributes. Right, and I'm finna elaborate on that. And then number two is me not putting too much effort into the analysis, that's my fault, and that's why I'm taking this L. I'm like, yeah, I should have worked a little bit harder to look at this. So maybe I could have done better with this prediction. But let's talk about attributes. I made a few videos about how despite skill gaps, if someone's tough enough and the other person lacks the toughness, in this case the chin, the less skilled fighter can turn a safe boxing match into or just a safe sniping match into a dangerous brawl. And to be clear, Ryan didn't turn this into a brawl necessarily, but Ryan has a better chin than Haney, which I knew going in, everyone knew going in. At the very least, he has way better recovery, which was also demonstrated in this fight because Ryan did get hurt a little bit and he recovered pretty fast. But whenever Devin was getting hurt, the fight was changing. And this is something I was also aware of, the recovery. But the other thing Ryan has in the attributes is power. Ryan has far better power and ability to hurt Devin, and Devin doesn't have as much of the ability to hurt Ryan. Although, like I said, that left hook in the third round, he did hurt Ryan a little bit. Now, these are very simple surface level things that oftentimes I account for, which is why my record is mostly W's. But I got too cocky. I took so many W's in my boxing predictions that I thought I could just half-ass my prediction and like, oh, I don't have to look at Devin Haney. I've already analyzed. No, I should have paid more attention to the details. And Ryan went out there and stood on business. He washed Devin Haney in those last few rounds. He was bullying him. And I did say Ryan was gonna come looking out to bully, and he was kind of doing that early on, but then Devin started adapting, and then for Ryan it was kind of like hard to deal with that, and then finally he found that shot because Devin couldn't do much to stop Ryan from eventually finding that shot. And I say that this prediction is lazy, not as an excuse, not to excuse the loss, because I definitely deserve this loss. This is a well-deserved L. I say it's lazy because I saw so many like details. Like, first of all, I made a video last minute and I saw so many details that I just like ignored, and I was like, oh, but Haney looks more powerful at 140. He looks healthier, so I'm like, I think he'll be able to take some better shots. But those reasons weren't good enough to hinge the entire fight on him being able to survive Ryan Garcia. And I overlooked the fact that even if you hurt Ryan, which he did, even if you hurt Ryan, he's relentless. He's going to find a way to land that shot unless you put him down or put him out or like hurt him bad enough to where he really gets extra hesitant, which he hasn't. No one's been able to do that yet. Even Tank had to fight him in an exchange to put him away, because Ryan was still pressing after getting dropped. Yeah, Ryan's gonna keep going until he finally connects, and that's what happened. Because for that first half of the fight, it was difficult for Ryan, like I was talking about earlier, and because Devin Devin got the read on that left hook, and you can see him feinting the entries and feinting the jabs because Devin threw a jab and his right hand was low and he got hit on the temple. He got wobbled in like the second round, and then after that he started feinting the entries to bring out the left hook of Ryan, because Ryan was trying to stay on the back foot and counter with the left hook, and Devin was getting him out of position, so Ryan was hesitant to throw it. And when Ryan did drop him in the later rounds, it was after a jab, so he set up the left hook and not just throwing it by itself. But in other words, it was the simple stuff that I overlooked, the bigger picture. I try to focus on the small details, but sometimes you can miss the forest for the trees, or however that saying goes. I was like, oh, Devin can move real well and make it hard for Ryan to catch up to him, which was true. I did think in the back of my head constantly that Ryan was going to catch up to Devin, but for some reason I ignored that. Regardless of the reason, it did lead to an incorrect prediction. Ryan is the winner. And it's not that I should overlook skills. It's just that in the past I've made a bigger deal out of gaps in power, gaps in chins, like with Crawford versus Spence, and like what, you know, Uwe versus Fulton, stuff like that. Even with Devin in the past, when I've made predictions on him, I've always said in every prediction with Devin, with Loma, Regis, I was like, he's gonna get hurt because I know he's chinny. I did say Ryan was going to be his most dangerous fight, which, well, if you look at the result, that proved to be true, but I think everyone kind of felt that way. At least I hope everyone felt that way, because Ryan's a very dangerous dude. This is a pretty bad prediction on my part as far as the outcome. Now, some elements of the fight I think I got pretty accurate, but not accurate enough for me to count it as anything close to a W. I didn't put in enough good work on this prediction, and it showed. This is a solid L on my part. My record is now 6-2 with boxing, and the lesson is, for me, don't be too cocky with my analysis and stuff like that. Now, let me know your thoughts in the comment section. I always want to hear y'all thoughts. Tell me what y'all think of this. Tell me about just the thoughts on the fight, the thoughts on the outcome, what you were thinking leading up. This fight had a lot of build up. I know people feel a lot of different things about both men and the results. So tell me what you feel. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. I will have analysis probably in the morning. I don't feel like making it tonight. That is all. I'm out.